20 odd years later, we weren't enabled by organizations and process. At the heart of it, it was people and their passionate stories. So the second part of your question, and that's what sort of gets me out of bed every morning, gets me out of bed. That was, are you increasingly now approaching organizations? Is it about people? Is it about organizations? We don't really know how to communicate with organizations because we haven't, found a language of products, because you won't find us going, do you know what? Our product is better, faster, cheaper. Despite the fact that my career was in business development, and I've been trained in all sorts of software sales approaches, we find that what we do with organizations is we find people who are interested in change in some way, and that change is always framed as a well-being change. So it's well-being of your staff, well-being of the communities you serve, well-being of the customers that you are selling products to, well-being of the planet that we all occupy in a shared way. So the sort of the quick answer to that one, and then the long answer was it was very people. It's becoming more organizational approach, an organization, and the project Annabelle referred to, the Young Leaders Project, which was in the pandemic when we employed 65 people. We didn't know what we were going to do with them other than pay them a wage. We paid them a wage and said, right, define your own job, see how that goes. If you could then define your own job, what would that be like without any context?
So part of me is saying, wow, yeah, I can see how that can be incredibly powerful and really interesting. And then perhaps the more conservative educationalist in me is thinking, that's not going to work, is it? Surely there's going to need to be some sort of mentoring, some kind of framework. How did you kind of balance those two? How did you make it work with your young people, I guess is the question I'm asking you.
Annabelle, why don't you take that?
Well, it's funny you should mention mentoring, because actually that is the framework that Value Exchange enabled, because it was basically just putting them into our work system and going, okay, this is you, so do that. But a fundamental part of that is having one or many work mentors, somebody that you convene with on a regular basis, just to talk about what you have done, what you're going to do, because we all need to talk and convene and learn. And then also, very importantly, well-being, mentoring as well, just an opportunity to create some space to talk about whatever you want to talk about, just a bit of space. Are you okay? And if you are, brilliant, we've created a bit of space, we've had a nice chat, and then we move on, but really quite well received. And if you're not all right, then it's like, well, let's make some space for you to go on a period of recovery, or the well-being thing is actually about sort of back to that one life thing, which is just enabling life to go on and being flexible enough. I talk about real flexibility,